For as long as man has kept sheep, he has relied upon a very special partnership to help him master his stock. The teamwork of shepherd and dog stretches back hundreds of years, but the ancient instincts behind successful sheep herding go back much, much further. Thousands of years ago, this dog's ancestors were predators, wolves for whom animals such as sheep would be easy prey. However, centuries of evolution, selective breeding, and careful training have transformed the hunter into a herder. Man has been able to harness the very impulses that would at one time have posed a serious threat to livestock, resulting in the single-minded genius of sheep herding that is today's working border collie. The Border Collie's ability to control stock is legendary. He is the ideal farm dog, intelligent, eager to please, extremely trainable, and possessed of limitless energy. This is a breed born to work. And to deprive such an animal of its role can destroy its spirit. Throughout the sheepdog's life, the desire to serve his master remains as strong as ever. Borough Farm, situated on the exposed coast of North Devon, is home to David and his family. Facing the open Atlantic and located on the edge of Exmoor, it is an area of outstanding beauty, with the gently wooded Borough Valley running down to the sheltered cove of Lee Bay. The open farmland is dominated by stone-faced Devon banks, which play a vital role providing a natural habitat for the abundance of wildlife that exists alongside the farming environment. When these walls were built over 200 years ago, labor on the land was cheap. A large flock of sheep would have numbered 150, and a farm of 100 acres would have employed half a dozen men. But times change, and it now takes a flock of 900 breeding ewes to support one farming family. Agricultural working practices have altered too. Modern economics mean that rather than retaining a ready supply of full-time labor, help can only be hired in at the busiest times of the year. That is to say, help of the two-legged kind. For today's shepherd now relies more than ever on the hard work and devotion of his year-long companion, the working sheepdog. David has been shepherding for 15 years and relies totally on his team of working dogs to help overcome the challenges of the farming year. Each collie is an individual with its own strengths and weaknesses. The shepherd's intimate knowledge of his dog's varying characters and abilities means that the right one will always be chosen for the particular job in hand. At 6½, Greg is the oldest dog on the team. Over the past 5 years, his hard work and intelligence have made him invaluable. Here, Greg comes across a ewe which has become cast or stranded on its back. It's a common problem which more usually occurs in the late spring before the ewes are shorn. On hot days, the sheep try to rub their itching backs by rolling, but unfortunately a fat ewe can soon become stuck. It's a dangerous situation, which could result in the death of the animal through bloat or leave it vulnerable to attack from opportunist birds. Greg's reaction to the stricken ewe attracts David's attention. And with minimal effort, the sheep is sent away none the worse for her ordeal. Greg's working partner for the past 4 years has been Swift, When working, their individual skills as a brace complement each other, making an effective team. Swift is David's constant companion, not just because she's always on hand to sort out any situations, but also because she's determined not to be left behind. Swift is a completely different style of working dog. Much quicker to respond to commands, she is what's known as strong-eyed, meaning that she is completely focused on her sheep. She is very controllable when working and totally dependable in delicate situations. However, Swift is not as free-working as Greg and requires much more in the way of commands from David. Of the younger members of the team, Gail is just 12 months old, but coming on well. Being the daughter of Greg and Swift, she shows positive elements inherited from both parents. From Swift, her temperament and strength when working close to sheep, and from Greg, a good outrun and the ability to work freely, not totally reliant on commands from her handler. As a youngster, there is some way to go yet. Gail still makes plenty of errors. Watching the sheep instead of casting around them is considered a major mistake. And cutting in and taking off a single sheep could cause chaos in some situations. 15-minute training sessions are taken whenever possible, along with the invaluable experience of daily work. Pip, at 3, is a useful part of the working team, but in any pack of dogs, there's a pecking order, and Pip is struggling to maintain a superior position to Gale, the more dominant character. The shepherd's year begins in early autumn, when the flock of breeding ewes is selected. Feet are trimmed, and wool from around the back end is removed to avoid it becoming soiled over the winter months. Then it's off to fresh grazing, to ensure the ewes are in tip-top condition for the introduction of the rams in early October. The rams too are prepared for the tupping season. Coloured marker rattles are fitted so as to identify which ewes have been served. Loading the selected rams into the trailer requires determination and more than a little bravery. A ram can be an erratic and aggressive customer.
Greg, come here. Greg, 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 come here. Greg, come here. Greg. Greg. Greg.
Their destination, only a mile away from Borough Farm, is the Mort Point Peninsula, a paradise for a unique blend of wildlife. Rented for grazing from the National Trust, which owns and maintains the area, this breathtakingly scenic rocky outcrop protrudes into the Atlantic Ocean. The rough grassland is home to a further 250 breeding ewes, which graze amongst its rock and gorse.